Hello, this is Wiley from Learn to Barbecue. This is my first low and slow cook using the RecTec Bullseye Grill. I'll be making pulled pork, and also I'm utilizing the new FireBoard cloud-connected smart thermometer. Now the setup on the grill. First thing is we put a foil pan underneath where the pork shoulder is going to sit on the grate. The Bullseye does not have a drip pan. We then put the ambient temperature probe right in the front of the pork shoulder as close to the middle of the grill as possible. For this cook, I am using adobo seasoning with pepper as my rub. Adobo seasoning is my go-to when making carnitas, and I wanted to give this pulled pork a Mexican flavor. Make sure you season all sides, and I go around the roast 2 times. Adobo has plenty of salt and will give you a nice bark without having to add any sugar. Actually, this recipe is great if you're on a keto diet. Now make sure you have preheated the Bullseye Grill to at least 250 degrees Fahrenheit. One really cool feature of the FireBoard Thermometer is the moment you plug in a probe, it will start data logging. Now center the pork shoulder over the foil pan and make sure the meat probe is in the middle of the roast, but not touching the bone. Now close the lid and set the pellet speed to 3rd position from off, or if you're ex-military, set it at 10 o'clock. Now plug in the meat probe and the FireBoard will automatically start logging the meat temperature. So here's the first chart showing the ambient or air temperature inside the grill at 233 degrees Fahrenheit. And the meat at a very cold 35 degrees Fahrenheit. 2 hours later, ambient temperature is 291 degrees Fahrenheit, and the meat is now at 84 degrees Fahrenheit. Now 3 more hours and the pork shoulder is at 160 degrees Fahrenheit and will be foiled so it will not dry out. To be on the safe side, I use a foil pan with foil wrap to make sure the pork shoulder is fully wrapped, but if I do get a tear, I can keep the juices out of the bottom of the Bullseye. A special note is leave the meat probe in, but make sure the foil is not touching the probe. Now put the pork shoulder back on the grill and close the lid. While the pork shoulder gets tender, we are going to make a Carolina mustard sauce. You start with 1 cup of prepared mustard, 1/2 a cup of apple cider vinegar, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, 1 teaspoon of chili powder, and 2 tablespoons of no salt butter. Mix it really well and then let it sit for 20 minutes. This step is optional, but we'd like to add 1/2 a cup of salsa verde or green salsa. The Bullseye does not have automatic temperature control. The only thing you control is the speed that the pellets enter the fire pot. With the FireBoard, I set 2 temperature settings, one at 270 degrees Fahrenheit and the other at 300 degrees Fahrenheit. When it hit 300 degrees Fahrenheit, I would move the knob 1 increment to the left or counterclockwise, and when it hit 270 degrees Fahrenheit, I would move it 1 increment to the right or clockwise. So all I had to do is listen, and the FireBoard app would prompt me to make an adjustment. Average adjustments was about every 15 to 20 minutes. After the foil and the humidity stabilized, I only had to make 1 adjustment. 195 degrees Fahrenheit, I then pulled the roast from the grill and let it rest for about 45 minutes. Now let's see how tender this is by pulling out the bone. So far so good. How about the bark, the smoke ring, and the meat? Bark was dark, had a great texture, meat had a great smoke ring, and the meat was extremely tender, but not mushy. Use the bear claws to break up the larger pieces, and then switch to 2 forks to finish. I was very happy with both the Bullseye Grill and the FireBoard Thermometer. Using them together takes all the stress out of low and slow cooking. Now it's time to add our Carolina mustard sauce. The only way you can get every inch of sauce on every piece of meat is using 2 forks. Also, if you are on the keto diet or just want to reduce sugar in what you eat, this is a great recipe. Only 2 grams of carbs per serving. Taste this stuff. Man, is that good. Bon appetit! If you would like to see more videos like this, please subscribe. Also, we really appreciate you watching.